Hey, my friends, my dear friends. I'm glad you're here with us and you're watching this video. Video number 5. Let's get straight into it. You know, I'm not the rah-rah type of guy, the trainer, you know, where everything's just rah-rah, we're all jumping. I'm not that. I love to teach. I love to give you principles. I love to give you nuggets so you can really think about it, implement it, turn your life around. This video, we're going to look at how to change from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. You're going to love this one. How to change from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. First of all, you got to increase your self-awareness. That's the first thing. How do you change from a fixed mindset, the one that's clogged up, that doesn't want to change, to a growth mindset that's growing every day? The fixed mindset often says, oh, I can't do that because people have said I can't do it. The growth mindset says, man, I can do anything. I can just, if I work hard at it, I know I'm going to be able to increase it. So the first thing you got to do is you got to increase your self-awareness. What does that mean for you? Look at your talents, look at your strengths, and even look at your weaknesses. But look at yourself and see who you are and what you have as a person. Because we all have talents. Every single person has talents, right? Some people are very good at music. Other people are very good at arts. Some are very good at communication. Others are very good at working with their hands. There's talents everywhere. Some are musicians. Some are, IT specialists. Some are gold diggers, Everybody has a special talent, and you have to look at those talents. And when we do the coaching, we have a good deep look at these things, especially the strengths that you have. You got to concentrate on those strengths, and then also the weaknesses, because we have to look at those things that we need to improve. Doesn't mean that we just focus on our weaknesses. We focus on our talents and our strengths, and yet at the same time we're working on some of those weaknesses so we can improve day in, day out. And that's a life journey. That's a lifelong journey. Okay. Number 2, how to change from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. Number 2, look at failure differently. I've said this before, but I'm coming from a different aspect now. Look at failure differently. Had I not seen failure when I threw the discus so many years ago, I would have stayed a failure in that area. I would have proven nothing. I would have gone back home and got the cake, the pity party cake, and I would have been blowing the candle every single day. And the next time I will go back to the athletics carnival, I would do the same thing, and I will probably get laughed again, and I would just be in that rut. Do you feel that way right now? Do you feel like you're in that rut? Well, that's because you got to look at failure differently. Failure really is to improve us significantly. Failure is there so we can look at it and say, okay, I need to change this. I want to improve. I want to learn. I want to master this. That's what I had to do. I had to master a skill, a sports skill. And when I found out that I could have a coach, very important, you got to have a coach. I'm your coach. I'm right here to help you, right? You got to have a coach. Secondly, the coach has to help you to understand your potential, and although you don't see it at the beginning, he sees it, but he sees the end result. But when he sees the end result, the coach, that means there's a lot of work that you need to do in between. And you may talk about your failure, and I told my dad, I went to the house that day after my sports carnival. I went sort of like, crying a bit, and Dad, I failed. I threw the discus really bad, and blah, blah, blah. If I would have stayed in that position, my dad would have said, well, it was a tough day, son, eh? But I didn't do that. I told him that I did fail that day, but I told him, but Dad, I know that you can teach me. I want a discus. And I bothered him for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Every day after school, when he would come back home, I'd be waiting for him. Dad, the discus, Dad, I want a discus. I want you to train me. And when he saw my persistence, then he said, I'm going to get my son a discus. You know what? He got the cheapest discus in town. The cheapest. It was a rubber discus. It smelled like rubber. But I slept with that discus, remember, right? And then he taught me. And then I began to throw. And then when I became very good, Then he got me a proper discus, a professional discus. Why? Because so much of the time we say, I want this, I want this, I want this. We get something new, and guess what? There it is. On the side, you left it. Why? You really didn't want it. You really didn't want to change. So failure has to be looked at differently. And did you know that failure is part of success? If you look at it this way, failure is part of success. I'm not saying that you aim at failing all the time. Don't aim at it. We will fail, but don't aim at failing, right? Sometimes failure comes because of our lack of knowledge, our lack of understanding, because of our assumption, because we didn't investigate properly. There are many things why we fail, but we learn from that. But failure is also part of success, and failure is very effective when we learn from it. When we walk away and we learn and we say, right, that's not going to happen to me again. I'm going to learn how to master this. Whatever it is, you're going to learn to master it. Okay? So increase your self-awareness. Number 2, look at failure differently. Number 3, create a new compelling belief. Create a new compelling belief. Your mindset is fixed when your mindset and you're saying to yourself, I can't do it. It's impossible.